Let's get going. Hello, everybody. Welcome. My name is Phil Stern. I'm the Partner Program Manager here at NUSO. And I've got a couple great people with me that are going to do some presenting on Microsoft Teams and our Connect Recorder today. Gentlemen, why don't you introduce yourself? Anthony, take it away.
Anthony Ruano, Head of Solution Sales. I'm sure some of you may have spoken to me in the past. If not, nice to meet you all. And I'll be walking through some different Microsoft Teams offerings that we are providing services for as NUSO. So just wanted to get everybody up to speed. We know it's a hot topic and it's continuing to get a bit more popular. So we definitely want to get this out in front of you and let you find folks know some of the other stuff we offer, opposed to just the services that you're using from us currently.
Okay, and I'm David Lillis. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Director of Product Management here at NUSO. Work closely with both Phil and Anthony, and I'll be touching on the Connect Recorder piece, which is our compliance recorder that we have within our NUSO platform.
All right, so a bit about what we're going to talk about today. We're going to briefly go over some of the Microsoft Team phone facts. We're going to discuss our Bridge for Teams options that we have that actually bolts right onto the services that you currently have right now. And then we're going to talk about two different unique products, one of them being Operator Connect and the other one being our Connect Recorder. I'll be handling the first three bullets here, and then our friend David will take over the Connect Recorder portion of the call. So a little bit about NUSO. Again, all of you are customers of ours. Some of you may be partners as well. But throughout the years, we've grown quite a bit. So I did want to use this time just to take a couple of minutes and kind of let you know some of the other services that we have as well, and just where the company is as a whole. So we're a multinational communications-focused software as a service provider. What that means is, well, if you've been with us a long time, we started off in a office in St. Louis, and now we have offices spread out throughout the country, as well as in Europe as well, with further expansion to give ourselves just a larger global presence. Every type of business class communication solution we are able to offer our clients now, uninterrupted services through different redundancy features and functionalities that we've actually put into our platforms. As always, 24/7 support answered by NUSO employees. Okay, really quickly, as we're going, just kind of going over some of the products. So most of you on the phone or on the meeting now are either using us for SIP trunking services or unified communications, which is cloud-based phone systems. We do offer faxing services as well. So we have compliant options on faxing. So medical, dental, financial institutions like that need a little bit more security in their faxing products. We can definitely assist with that. Then we go into the CCAS side, so text messaging products. So if you are on our hosted platform, you can do text messaging through there. But if you needed something a little bit more robust on the text messaging side, that's where we'll go into the Simply Connect product, which we can schedule a call after we're done here and walk through it in detail so you can get a better understanding of how that works. The Compliance Connect Recorder, so that David will be talking about that here in just a bit. And then we have contact center solutions, both for smaller call centers and then anything up to call centers with 15,000 agents. NUSO Bridge, this is really kind of the focus on today's call. So we're going to talk about our Operator Connect program with Microsoft, as well as our Platform Connect program with Microsoft as well. That actually bolts on to our hosted platforms. We're going to touch lightly on NUSO Flex, and then I'm going to hint a bit about something that's coming out now that's called branded calling. Okay, so that's a really interesting one, which I'll get into here in just a bit as well. So why is NUSO investing heavily into into Microsoft Teams. Well, as we can see here, throughout the growth since 2019, the amount of Microsoft Teams users globally has grown quite a bit, right? So November 2019,
Wow.
yeah, we were at 20 million users at that point. Now it's up to 350 million. Now, when we're looking at Microsoft Teams users that are actually using the phone functionality of it, you're looking at about 100 million organizations on that side, or 100 million users, I'm sorry, that are actually taking advantage of the actual phone side itself. So there's still plenty of room. Don't feel bad. You have Teams. You're not using it for the phone side yet. It's okay. The adoption rate has not fully gotten on there yet for the entire fold of the 350 million. But we'll see as time goes on and really where that migration begins to happen. All this, though, being said, if you are interested in moving into Microsoft Teams or adding some Microsoft Teams functionality, NUSO can still be your provider, which that's the great part on there. Some Teams phone facts. This is more of a for some businesses, it's that the numbers are completely different, right? But this is actually taken an aggregate when we get to some of them. But when you're looking at productivity timing when using Microsoft Teams, it's saving per user, right? And this is based on studies. About 1.6 hours a week are being saved on a per user basis because they're eliminating the tab tax. If they're already working inside of Microsoft Teams for everything else, why not actually have your phones in there as well? So again, you're not having to tab from one system to another for your communication side.
Yeah, that's a huge data point. I can distinctly remember when I myself switched to have my phone into Teams and everything a few years back. It just speeds up everything. You got your tasks list in Teams. You're doing your chats. You're using the Microsoft Teams app on your phone to take calls and all that. It just makes it so smooth. So 1.6 hours makes a lot of sense.
It does, and it's that's valuable time as well there, right? This $19.7 million cost savings, that is not a single organization, of course. That was drawn out through, of course, and I think it was 100,000 organizations combined is how they got that number there. But quite a bit of savings again, right? Because now when we start to look at the time saved per week per employee, and just really kind of integrating or incorporating everything in, you're saving quite a bit over a 3-year period. Same thing on the ROI side with that. And then most importantly is reduce IT burden, right? So yes, of course, our partners that you have purchased your phone service through them, which is our phone service, right? But going through partners, a lot of them are IT companies. This is actually simplifying their workflows as well in some cases, right? So being able to be more alert during mission critical emergencies instead of some minor, moves, adds, or changes that you needed to get done within the phone system. We're going to talk Platform Connect first. Okay, so like I mentioned to you, we have 2 different variations of services that we're able to provide on Teams. But the first one we're going to do is Platform Connect. The reason why we're going to talk about Platform Connect first is that you can actually have this turned on tomorrow on the services that you're using with us. So if you're using our hosted voice, okay, so any of our UCaaS platforms, either green or orange, we can have you turned up as simple as tomorrow, okay? How do we do that? Well, what Platform Connect is, it is a Microsoft certified integration that we have created and developed, okay, so that you're still able to have your phone system that you already have in the background, all right, but you're able to use Teams for the desktop as well as the mobility side of things, okay, so being the mobile app on there. That gives you ease of use is really through the roof on there because you're already used to the phone system that you have and the desk phone, so you're not having to swap any of that out. All we're really doing in a situation like this is now the apps, instead of using our NUSO apps, you would actually be using the Microsoft Teams apps. So your call control stays with the phone system you have. We're just adding Teams as if it was another phone on the system. So that makes it really, really convenient to use. It's the learning curve is much shorter on that because, well, you're just going to see a new tab inside of your Microsoft Teams instance, which is great. That's how we use it internally. That's what Phil was mentioning that, since he started using it about 2 years ago with us. So don't worry. He is an employee and he is on our service, but he's one of the many internally here. Actually, the entire company at this point is using Platform Connect just because of we're trying to eliminate that tab tax, right? And we're trying to get that 1.6 hours back on the productivity side. There is some requirements that are needed from it, and you have your licensing that you're going to need from Microsoft. Okay, so you are going to need either the E5 license, or it could be A5 or G5, depending on what type of organization model it fits under. Okay, so let's say the 5 license on there. Or if you've got your standard, Microsoft Essentials licenses, you would need to add a phone system standard license to that. Okay. Then you have your NUSO hosted seat. Okay. And then all we're going to add to that is going to be the Bridge for Teams license. What we can do, like I said, you can either reach out to your partner, you can reach out just replying back to the email for this webinar. If you do want to take a closer look at it, we can jump on a call. Either myself, Phil, David, or your account manager that you have here at NUSO. And we can walk you through exactly how that works and how to look for your organization. So it's a really, really fun way to kind of utilize both of our services in one. And again, the increase in productivity is phenomenal and it's fun, right? Because if you're always inside of Teams, why get out of that? Following up on our Platform Connect is we have something called Operator Connect. All right. So what Operator Connect is, so let me actually break this down a little bit so that it's more understandable. So I'm going to compare both again here, right? So we have Platform Connect, which is using your NUSO phone system, okay, in the back end. All right. But now we're using Microsoft Teams as your mobility and productivity devices. The second one, which we're going to talk about now, and I do see a couple of questions coming in. We'll answer those towards the end of the webinar, but keep sending those questions in because we will answer all of them. Okay, so now when we're looking at Operator Connect, you are no longer using NUSO's phone system. You're just going to use us for your voice traffic. Okay, your actual phone system now would be the Microsoft Teams environment. Okay, so it's two completely different ways to handle this type of offering, right? So again, Platform Connect, you use our backend phone system that you already have, and you add Teams onto it. The other option is now you are using Microsoft Teams as your entire phone system, and we're providing dial tone into that Microsoft Teams environment. Now, with both of those, and I did promise you we're going to talk about branded calling, so we'll get to that here in a second. With both of those, you do have the benefit on using our NUSO Flex network, right? So that's going to be for your inbound call redundancy. Many of you, it's probably already have used it. You don't even know that you've used it though. We've actually built our network in the way that if calls are coming in and we do see that they're failing for whatever reason, it could be because there was a fiber cut or a car hit a pole right by your office and they've knocked down connectivity. Well, it's happened.
Yeah.
It's worse than that, actually, Phil. Yeah. We're actually able to keep those inbound calls still flowing into your organization. Okay. On the other side of that, right? So that was calls that were coming into your organization. And this is a really exciting product that we're releasing, which is called branded calling. Okay. So on the branded calling side, what this is you will no longer, when you're calling out, be delivering that lovely spam likely message that comes out when you're calling out to somebody's cell phone, because what branded calling does, it actually vets your organization and it will deliver your company's logo and the reason for a phone call when you're calling out to cell phones. Okay. This is something that is new. We're working directly with T-Mobile on it. We've been live with T-Mobile for quite some time now. Following up with that will be Verizon and then AT&T shortly. So we're already testing directly with Verizon. So again, some of the benefits of using NUSO for any of your communication needs, you're really able to start bolting on some of these additional products and services, which number one, helps streamline business productivity. Number two, if we're able to make sure that calls are coming into the organization, because that's kind of important for all of us, we want that. And then on the branded calling side, making sure that when you're calling out, your customers are answering your phone calls. Okay, because now they know that it's you calling them. These can't be spoofed, which is great, because it's actually delivering your company's logo on cell phones. So how cool is that, right? That's a really fun one. Again, something else that we can jump on a call and go through in more detail as well for it.
Yeah, that reputation protection, that's a huge word you're going to see all over the place this year and in the future, and that's what that branded calling ID falls under. It's keeping your business reputation intact. People see the name and the logo, and that is powerful stuff.
Yep. No, that's a really exciting. That's probably one of the more exciting things that we've had rolled onto there.
Yeah,
all
I'm
right.
not picking up spam likely calls. I don't know about you all.
I don't pick them up at all. I don't pick them up at all, Bill.
Yeah, that's right.
Actually, my phone doesn't even ring on those things anymore, so I'm good.
That's right. Do not disturb all the time. Sorry, off topic.
All right, everybody. Yeah, so David Lillis here. NUSO Connect Recorder basically is a platform that we have developed. It's a US-based compliant call recording product that lives within our NUSO management portal. You know, allows you to have encryption and customize all of these recordings to allow you to meet the regulatory requirements, and also give you that extra level of feature and functionality that you wouldn't normally get from an out of the box recording solution, because usually they'll just offer some basic functionality, but in most cases will really fall short of, you know, giving you role-based access, which is imperative to have, you know, for compliance reasons, and of course data sovereignty, so that the data is stored in the proper locations and the workflows. Also, our NUSO Connect Recorder supports both transcription and sentiment analysis of all the recorded calls. So it gives you not only the transcription of what each party had said within that conversation, but also give you a sentiment score for each of those calls as well. And that really provides you a much better insight into your organization, the calls that you're receiving from your clients, and, you know, what was it, a good call, was it a bad call, and really grading those recorded calls.
And David, let me jump in. That sentiment analysis, when you view this in our portal, and we might have a screenshot coming, but if we don't, it's smiley faces and frowny faces that just right off of, from a visual standpoint, you can see with a big green smiley face or like a half green smiley face if it was a pretty good call. And then you've got those frowny faces, and then right there in the middle with like the, you know, the flat face, the emoji. I don't know how to explain that, but from a manager like visual perspective, it is so easy to identify calls that have gone wrong, because we all know what a red frowny face means, right? So it really helps. And then you got the transcription right there as well. Sorry, I had to brag about that because it's so cool.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, one of my things here too, I'm sorry to jump in as well.
No, that's good.
On here, but it's really important to know that this recorder is Microsoft certified.
Oh, it's huge.
What that means, sure, you can find other recording software that's out there. Very few are going to be actually certified by Microsoft. Why is that important to you as an end user? Once once Microsoft decides to change something, those recording companies, okay, or developers are not notified of any changes. So your recordings could actually be shut off at any time when Microsoft decides to make a change. Since we're certified with Microsoft on that, as well as multiple other products, we actually get notice prior to, and then actually notes on how to make it with the new release that they're using it on it. So like that, you are still covered under your call recording and not, thinking that you're recording something when it's not. Microsoft is also making it a lot more strict for third-party vendors that are just trying to create products for their ecosystem that either aren't certified with them or non-compliant or are just, a multiple amount of reasons, but that's definitely something to keep in mind. It is a Microsoft certified product.
Well, that is huge, because if compliance is in the piece, whether it's HIPAA, GDPR, you have to be in compliance 24/7. You can't miss a couple days because the application wasn't up to date. You know what I mean? So that is huge.
And
Great point.
And that's still in the thunder from the very last slide. the very next slide. So if you want to.
Sorry, David. Let's get to that
okay.
slide.
That's good. There we go. Yeah. So we were just talking about being Microsoft Teams and also validated with Zoom as well. So really, to wrap it up with the Connect Recorder compliance, it really gives you that agent performance monitoring. It's much easier to resolve disputes and employee coaching and any security and fraud protection. So it's a great tool to have to obviously to coach new employees and monitor how your agents are handling calls, and so those things are quite valuable. Do we have some questions in there that we wanted to try to?
We do. We do have some questions on here. So one of the questions that I got was, is this available for NEC phone systems? We are working on it. So since that NEC phone system is on our SIP trunking already, we have been in the works for that. If you could shoot us an email directly, that'd be great. And actually, I'll be able to pull the question and see who it is, but I'll definitely be able to get back to you as we get further on that side of it. That is a big question. We do services for a lot of NEC phone systems. So yes, that is something that's definitely in the works because the requests have been there. Thank you to the partner that's using it and loves it. I use it and love it as well. So I appreciate that. We have another question here. Does that mean mobile devices could use Teams for calling versus the NUSO application? That is correct. So if you're on Platform Connect, both your desktop and mobile applications will now be the Teams applications. Okay, you'll still have the other ones if you ever want to use them, but you'll have the Teams applications instead of the other. Another question here. We have an E3 license. Do we need to upgrade? All you need to do is add the phone system standard license on there. Again, I will make a note here so that I can reach out to you directly via email on there, and we can let you know kind of some of the licensing requirements for it. I'll send you out licensing documentation for it on there, just so you have a better idea of it. Also, your partner agent should know which licensing it is, but again, we'll go ahead and I'll reach out to you here directly. As far as pricing, I don't do anything on the pricing side. I'll have your account manager reach out and they'll let you know what the additional cost per user on the NUSO licensing is. With the call recording software, take notes on the call with AI, condense it down to takeaways and summarize on the notes. That is going to be on our next release. So as of right now, it's just doing it's doing the audio and video recording. Okay, then you have your transcription broken down into the actual users and speakers on there. And then the sentiment analysis. Next release will have takeaways as well as summarizing of the notes. I saw that somebody here is using a very similar tool with it. So that does that. Not compliant though, but so that's the big difference there. Meetings. All right, let's see. I need
Great
that
question.
license. I need that licensing for adding teams. Okay, we will reach out to you on that.
Great question about if a call comes in, does it ring both your Teams and your desk phone?
Absolutely.
If you have this, it is going to ring both. So
You
think
betcha.
of it. Yeah. So perfect example. I have the mobile app. I also have Teams on my computer. Those are the two versions that I have essentially hanging off of the NUSO network. And so anytime a call comes in, both of those ring. And then if I had a physical phone on my desk, that would also ring. So yes, great question.
When is the next release for the recording to have notes summary? I'll get back to you on that. I will get with development. They normally throw me out of their section of the office every time I go in there because I start asking them crazy questions. But I will get that answer for you on there.
Yep. Great question. And these questions are great, by the way. Keep them coming. And I know that Anthony touched on this already, but a lot of different ways to get in touch with us. If you have questions about this, further questions, if we need to talk to you, show you a demo, whatever it is, reach out to your partner. If you don't know who your partner is, you can reach out to NUSO directly. We'll get you connected with the channel account manager who works with your partner, all that stuff. So don't be shy.
And then does it also receive faxes with our desk phone SIP number? Not inside of Teams. If you were, however, you're receiving faxes now, it could. I did mention we do have some other faxing options, so you may be running it to your old fax machine, but we do have our hosted Connect fax option. So if you want to receive faxes via email or via a portal, you're able to do that through the number. Again, things that we can take a deeper dive in as well. Like I said, we'll be reaching out to you all just to make sure there's any questions. Maybe there were some questions that weren't answered for you, or maybe just some, common discovery on the services. So we will definitely talk on that. Could you pull the global contacts? Could you pull the global contacts address from the hosted PBX and enable dialing by 4-digit extensions? So it does pull in some contacts on there from the PBX side. I will get you a better answer because I'll do some testing on my own. All of my contacts were already in Teams anyways, and in my Outlook. But I'll check for you. I'll actually call customers that we have on there that have been using it that have been using it for a while, and kind of seeing how they're managing their contacts on there. And yes, there is a cost to add the Connect Recorder. Again, we'll have your account manager reach out to you and go over some of the options on that for the recording side.
Yep. I think we had another question about licensing. If we have an E3 license, do we need to upgrade?
Yeah, so it's I think we had answered that one earlier, but we'll answer it again here. So if you have the E3 license, you can keep the E3 license, but you need to add the phone system standard license to it.
Yeah, and that's not that expensive from what I can recall. I'm not Microsoft, but I don't think it's that bad. It's just good.
No, and again, efficiencies, right? So.
Yep. Okay, I'll answer another question that was asked near the beginning. I answered it in the chat, but we will be sending this webinar out in post. So we'll get it edited and cleaned up a bit just to make it as condensed and as time friendly as possible. And that will be coming to your email inboxes. So watch for that in case you want somebody else to watch it in the office, a colleague, superior, or whatever.
Awesome.
Great questions. We're a little bit past time, but I love that because these questions have been great. David, anything from you before we wrap it up?
I'm good. Thank you so much, everyone, for attending and taking the time out of your day. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely. And Anthony, anything you want to let us know before we end this.
No, thank you all for your time today. Hopefully your day's not as rainy as ours is here in St. Louis. But yeah, we will definitely, like I said, we'll be reaching out. We'd love to hear from you before we reach out. That'd be great. Because again, we're excited about the products and we want to walk you through and see if it's a fit for your organization, right? So again, we're continuing to roll out more tools to increase your experience, and then also just internal productivity, compliance, which is becoming a big thing now. So yeah, we look forward to hearing from all of you here shortly.
Awesome. Well, thank you everybody again. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week, and we will talk to you on the next one. Bye, y'all.